there, Medfield. Well, welcome to our newest edition of Happenings at the Center. And I think you probably all know this lady to my left, Roberta, who's going to give us the routine of what's going on in coming weeks and the next month at the center. But also she'll tell us about some news that happened that was broadcast nationally. All started at the center.
Yeah, well, so we've done an annual Boston to Bermuda cruise. This is our 5th year, and this one was a wonderful cruise with had a little event happen, and most people heard about it. So first we had great weather. We got to the Black Falcon Pier in plenty of time so that we could start our vacation right at noon on the ship, which is wonderful. But on our way back from Bermuda on that Tuesday, we set sail at 5:30, and around 6 o'clock there was significant multiple jolts to the ship that actually everybody just stood to attention, and because it was so foreign, and immediately the alarm sounded, and the crew just all snapped and went to work. They all knew what they had to do.
Great.
And so we were on the reef for about 6 hours. They were waiting for high tide to come in, and then we had a couple of tugboats, which I actually got pictures of on my cell phone, and then I watched the news the next Friday when we came home, and I saw the whole thing that I actually saw in person. And with the high tide and the tugboats attached to the ship, they actually able to pull us off the reef. And then we anchored out there. We were a couple miles away from Bermuda, and we anchored out there overnight, and then the boat was brought back to Heritage Wharf, where then they went through their inspection, repairs, and then final inspection and okay for us to set sail again, which we did at 3 o'clock to head home for Boston.
And how much time did it add to your trip?
It actually added no time to the trip.
Long.
Nope. It's interesting because it's a week-long cruise, and we leave Friday at 4. We get to Bermuda Sunday at 8. We leave Tuesday at 5:30, head back to Boston. We get to Boston Friday morning. It really is the cruising. Bermuda's a bonus, but it really is the cruising. The ship goes very slowly on the way back to Boston so that we can enjoy that southern sun and just reap the benefits of the ship with the pool and the music and all the entertainment. So it was a great trip. There are 15 of us, 15 plus myself, 16 of us that went on the cruise this year. And a couple of people were, wanted their families to be notified. So, we were able to handle that and just let people know that everything was okay on the ship. But one thing we did do when it happened, we were all meeting for dinner that evening, and I made sure that everybody went back and got their passport, their personal essentials, their medicines, and all the things that they would need in case we had to make an immediate evacuation of the ship. But that didn't happen, fortunately, and the food continued to be plentiful, and the beverages were never short, and it was.
That's important.
It worked out really well for everyone. So, kudos to the crew and the captain of the ship, who really did a great job and kept everybody comfortable and safe, and so it's good.
How many were on the ship in total?
So 2,400 passengers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that
about
big a ship.
1,300 crew. Yeah.
2,400. I wonder how many of those were scared. How many of the 2,400?
We were all scared, honestly, when it happened. I mean, because it was so foreign that you knew something happened. But they really did a great job of keeping us informed when they had information to tell us, because initially they couldn't tell us anything. What they did do, though, and some of our passengers were down on deck 5, and 4 and 5. I'm not sure about 6. They were evacuated, the people from their cabins. They were removed from their cabins until there was an assessment done of the ship. And those people are impacted more so by this because they had to leave their cabins. But they went back after about 3 hours. They were able to go back. One of our guests that traveled with the COA, they actually had to take her through the guts of the ship to get her up to where the group was through a service elevator. But it was a little inconvenience. Could have been, oh my goodness, so much worse, of course. So but we all had a great time. Good time.
The only thing I had similar, and it's a little different.
Yeah.
My husband always wanted to see the beach at Normandy.
Mm-hmm.
That was his dream. So a few years ago we did it, and we were literally halfway across the Atlantic, right at the midway point. Somebody in the first class had a heart attack, and they had to turn back and go to the nearest port, which was all the way back to the United States.
Oh my!
So we turned around from the middle of the Atlantic, went right all the way back to Boston. Crazy, and then waited and waited and waited, and then started all over again.
Oh my
It was
goodness!
crazy, and people were angry. There was a fist fight in first class.
Wow.
So we were met by an ambulance. In fact, 2 ambulances, because one of the fist fights had gotten pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the police.
Wow.
So several people were arrested or taken into custody anyway from it. But
So-
very nasty.
That must have added a couple of days to your trip.
Well, it certainly added that full day.
The full. Okay,
Yeah,
so it took
because
you.
went back and forth.
Right. So they say actually the ship can make it to Bermuda in one day. So they kind of slow the sailing down to make the cruise a nice long week. A nice week-long cruise. But I mean, things happen, and anywhere you go, whether it be in a cruise or to a resort, I mean, things can happen. So you just want to make sure that people are prepared for whatever might
Right,
happen.
you're right.
And obviously, Norwegian crew did a great job for us.
That's a good thing to hear, though.
So I was saying that this was going to be the last cruise this year.
Maybe
Well,
not.
maybe not. We'll keep people posted.
Oh, could that be interesting if you did another one? I bet there'd be a lot of people who would sign up.
Maybe so. I mean, everyone on the cruise ship got a discount for a future booking with Norwegian. So that's one reason that we might do it again. But we'll see. It's I enjoy cruising, obviously. So a lot of people do. A lot of people don't. So
No.
yeah.
But, that's a great story, though.
Yeah, it was good. It was funny to hear when we got back. We heard about you on the news. You made national news, and it was pretty funny.
Because a lot of people were saying, was it our ship? Was it really our people?
Yes.
You just don't expect it to
Yeah,
happen like
yeah.
that.
I know Susan had texted me, and wanted to make sure that she had the correct list of names in case any families called in. So, I mean, I was communicating with the COA to let people know that we were fine, and which was a comfort, I think, to some of the families.
I bet it was.
So it all worked out. It was nice to have that ability to communicate like that.
But we can't all stay home in our rocking chairs.
No,
a good thing.
no, absolutely not. And that's the thing about this cruise. It is simple. I mean, the bus picks us up at the senior center, takes us to the pier in Boston. Your luggage goes with the porter, and then you get on the ship, you're on vacation. And then the same thing, when you return, the bus picks us up there, brings us to the center. It's perfect.
Pretty nice.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
very easy, especially if people, as they age and they have some ambulation issues, not so much walking to get, the airport, all of that. It's a great trip.
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you have any other trips of any kind planned?
Well, we have a lot of day trips planned. We have, which is sold out actually. In June 11th, we're going to Gloucester to take a cruise in Gloucester, and then have a clam bake. A lobster clam
that
bake. So
sounds
we have
good.
that. We're going to Martha's Vineyard. We're going to Block Island. We're going in the fall. We're going to Tower Hill for the
What's Tower
foliage.
Hill?
Tower Hill. It's out in the Worcester area, I
Okay.
believe. I don't have the flyer in front of me, and I haven't opened up the newsletter. But there are every month there's a significant day trip planned. So some people like day trips. They may not be going away for a week or whatever, and so a lot of people have signed up for almost every day trip that we're offering, which is nice.
And how many usually go on those trips?
Well, we need 40 for the trip to happen, and I connect Millis with our schedule of trips, so they add some people. So it looks like we'll be making almost every trip. We'll have Gloucester's full, so that's going. Martha's Vineyard's filling up. So if anyone's interested in going on a day trip with us, actually they're in they're on our website, thecenter@medfield.com, and they're in the newsletter, which you can pick up anywhere around town. And if you want to have the newsletter mailed to you, you're still a little old-fashioned like myself, and you like paper, even though we're not supposed to use so much paper anymore. But
That's right.
a lot of people still like to have the hard copy. So
And I have a few friends that don't have computers. I can't believe it, but they don't.
no, of course, yeah, yep, and that's okay. You know, we can't just not support their needs. If they need the hard copy, we need to give it to people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, yeah. But so yeah, the day trips are good to go. So if anyone's interested, again, just stop in and sign up. And we do ask for the check at the time that you sign up, just so we have a commitment from people, rather than signing up and last minute they cancel that, because then we're stuck with the payment. So yeah.
And you have some cookouts planned for the summer?
We do. We have a few cookouts planned, not the same schedule as the past few years, but our first cookout is going to be on June 17th, and we have this great new sound system. I don't know if, I think you've heard the sound system, great new sound system in there. So we're going to be utilizing the sound system a lot, for our music. And on the 17th of June, we'll be having our big super bingo, we call it, with a $100 jackpot. So that's always incentive to get people in, you know, to play the bingo. And bingo is huge on the cruise ships.
You're kidding.
Absolutely. I don't play it myself, but they line up the door to get into the bingo hall when they have it on the cruise ship. So we hope people line up to come to our bingo game, you know.
Okay, so that's on the 17th of June.
That's on the 17th, yep.
And are you doing the weekly supper clubs?
Well,
Cookouts?
so we have we have a supper club scheduled for this evening, and we probably won't have supper clubs during the summer, because we'll have our cookout, and then we have a dine around, and then we're going to Plainville to see the new casino. So we have different things kind of scheduled for Wednesdays in June, not all cookouts at the center. So people have to really look at the newsletter and see what interests them, you know.
And then the summer cookouts would be July and August?
And we'll have a cookout in July, we'll have a cookout in August, and a cookout in September.
Okay.
And then we have a potluck supper on a Wednesday in, I'm going to cheat, hold on one second. On August 19th will be our potluck supper. And that's always a great,
That's fun. 'Cause you
that's
never know what's
fun.
gonna happen.
You never know what kind of food you're going to get. And last year it was fabulous. The food was delicious. People outdid themselves. It was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I think it's always fun though.
It is, you know, and this is our time to be more social during the summer and plan for new programming in September. So I'm looking forward to the summer. Plus, I love the hot weather. So, you know, I just think the sun and the blue sky makes everybody feel better.
The sun really does. There's
Yeah.
no question.
Yeah.
Especially after the winter we all
Oh my
all
goodness.
suffered through.
Yeah. So I just want to mention one thing, and as I open the newsletter, and most people have seen or heard about those tree huggers they put at Medfield State Hospital. I just want to say that Jackie Iafola, who comes to the senior center, put 3 of those together on her own, and she just sat there like you know, focused, and got 3 of those tree huggers done, which was really a good thing for her to do and to contribute to that state hospital property.
And we just had a tour there last week
Yep.
on Wednesday with some of the state officials. It was great.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
good to see it.
Yep.
Very good to see it.
The other thing that's happening at the center is we're actually up for an audit, which is coming tomorrow from HESCO, because of our respite program. We're a contractor for HESCO, and so they come in every 3 years and they do an audit. So we're in the middle of preparing for that. We have been preparing for that. But our respite program, we've had a change in personnel. Grace Nunziato, who started the program way back in March of 2012, has left to pursue a new career, so we wish her good luck with that. And Kathy Powers, who has been with us as the activity specialist for the last 3 years, has moved up to the coordinator position.
Okay, she's a nice lady.
Yep, and so it's been a very smooth transition, which is great for the COA. And then another Medfield resident, Patricia Pembroke, has stepped in as the activity specialist for the program. So it's been a very, you know, you always kind of like cringe when somebody gives their notice, oh my God, what am I going to do, you know? And fortunately, this just everything went so smoothly. So that, and the thing that I would even cringe about is that I wouldn't want our our folks who participate in the club to be impacted by, a change in personnel, maybe having to cancel a few days because you don't have enough staff, that sort of thing. But this didn't happen. So in terms of our folks who participate in the club and their caregivers, everything just was a very smooth transition. So for that, I'm really, really grateful.
How many people are in the club now?
So it depends in terms of what day we're on. We have, in the afternoons, we have 13, and the mornings we have maybe 8 or 9 sometimes. So we have a few openings for the morning session, which is 9 to 12:15, but our afternoons right now are pretty well full. So we're actually in the process, and that's one of the things with this audit, getting all the particulars organized. We're moving from the original room that the club started in, and then they're going to be in the card room Tuesday mornings, Thursday mornings, and then in the craft room Tuesday afternoons, Thursday afternoons, because we just need more space,
Wow, it's a great project, especially for the caregivers.
Oh, it's.
I often wonder how they can handle it.
Oh my goodness, it's the best for the caregivers to see caregivers as they bring their loved one in. Sometimes we pick up with our vehicles, we'll pick up people, but when a caregiver brings and they're able to feel comfortable that their loved one is being, engaged in activities, conversation, and they're being, supported by the staff. Mm-hmm. And then they leave with just a smile on their face, like, relief. I have a couple of hours where I can read a book or go food shopping by myself. So it really is a great program, and I only see it, continuing. Would love for it to get bigger if it could, but it can't now. But it's a great supportive program for people.
Wow. I'm so glad I never needed it. But
right.
It's nice to know it's there for other people to do.
It's nice to know that it's there. Yeah. So, and let me see, what else do we have going on? So we have a Juliet group, which is a group of ladies wanting to do what the men do, go out and get together and eat and have fun and learn new things. And coming up the end of this month, there's a group going to the Danforth Museum to take a look at their exhibits, and then have a nice brunch before, and then go to the museum. And our Romeo group, our men's group, they're going, where are they going? Oh, they had to cancel last month. They were going to the JFK Museum. No, Edward M. Kennedy Museum.
Oh, okay.
And then they were going to the Erie Pub. And I think that had to be canceled. I was right around the time where I was leaving for the cruise. So, but yeah, we have 2 groups, the Romeos and the Juliets. So try to do our own independent things.
That's wonderful. What's your busiest day up there at the center?
The busiest day is probably a Tuesday or a Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the club being there is part of it?
Well, the club, but we have yoga on Tuesdays, which has a big draw of people. We get over 30, sometimes over 30 people in yoga. And then we have, let me just think if I can remember, Tuesday we have our Shine counseling. And what else do we have on Tuesday? I'm drawing a complete blank. But, we have our 2 exercise program, fitness camp. I mean, every day there's exercise going on. So if anybody, wants to learn about our exercise programs, definitely just come in and speak with myself or Cheryl or Susan, and we can talk about all the exercise that we have. 11 programs a week, which is pretty good.
Wow, that is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, and I have to give a plug for Joan Lee, who has been our movie program person for probably 13 years. And today, actually, we're showing. I don't know if I want to watch it. Still Alice.
I went to the theater and saw it.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I went with my daughter-in-law, my daughter, and I thought it was marvelous.
Yeah.
I had listened. I'm legally blind, as you know. I can't read anymore, so I listened to it on the audiobook, and then I thought, I think I'd still like to go to the movie. So we sat right up front.
Yep.
So I could see some parts of it.
Sure.
I couldn't see the faces, the expressions on the faces, but I was mesmerized by the
Yeah.
acting. The acting was marvelous, and I knew the story well, but it was absolutely moving movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. So that's what we're showing today. And the last time we had the movie 2 weeks ago, we showed Big Eyes. I don't know if you've seen Big Eyes. That was a good draw. We had probably 18 people there for the movie. And Wednesdays are a very busy day. And Mondays are a very busy day when I start thinking about things. You know, we try to keep, and you know, we want to welcome like the younger seniors to come in, and really, you know, still occasionally we hear, oh, I'm not old enough to go to the senior center, but it's really not having to do with whether or not you're old enough or you're too young. It's just whether or not, if the programs appeal to you, if the exercise appeals to you, or a movie's being shown, or you want to play cards, or you want to learn how to wood carve or knit or paint. I mean, that's what should be the draw for people, not the age component to that building. If you know what I mean.
So you don't ask for the driver's license to prove that they're old enough?
No, because I said last year, when you walk through the building, we're all the same age. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's just a matter if you want to come in and, you know, connect with really economical programs. I mean, you can't take a Zumba class anywhere other than that center for $5. You know, Zumba goes for about $15 a class, or yoga for $2. I live in Franklin now, and right across from me is a yoga studio, and it's $15 a class. So it's not about the age. You're not old, or you're too old, or you're too young, or whatever it might be. It's really about the programming, and if there's something that interests you, come in. You know, it's that easy.
And you're always willing to look at new ideas, new programs?
Oh, absolutely. I'm waiting for you to come up with a new idea.
Okay, I'll think of one.
Think of one, yes. Why not? I mean, we have time in the day. We have Wednesday evenings, so we could try anything.
That would be fun. Fun to try and think of something.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody else can. They can call you at the center.
Absolutely,
Leave
they
a
can
message
call
if you're
me.
not there.
I like ideas because, you know, what is it, 14, going on 14 years. Sometimes, you know, you get a little stale with ideas and you need somebody to give you a little nudge and say, let's do this. Okay, let's do this, you know. We had that Spanish class. Somebody wanted Spanish. We had the Spanish class. Back a few years ago, they wanted to read more of the classic novels. So we have the Great Books discussion group, you know. So all you have to do is come up with the idea and you know, with the person making here's a good one. Carol Wright and Janice Cannon had this idea of starting an herb garden. I'm like, oh, herb garden, I think that sounds great. So we had the first day of spring, we had an herb planting party, and they served herb tea and, you know, herb like crackers and dip and all that, you know. And then they potted the herbs from seeds. Now in our backyard on the raised flower bed is our herb garden. So all people have to do is come up with an idea.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, and we will have fresh basil, and we'll have thyme, and we'll have all those herbs that people can come and harvest from that garden.
Are you growing your own garlic too?
I don't know if they put
one of my
garlic
favorite things in the
in.
world.
I don't know. I'll have to
wonder.
ask
Yeah.
Carol or Janice.
Garlic and chives and onions. I love all those.
Yep, we have
things.
chives.
Chives are marvelous.
Mhm.
Scallions are
Yeah,
wonderful.
mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you know, that's someone who had an idea,
Mhm.
and we made it happen.
Good for them.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good.
Wow. So you're busy.
We stay busy.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's all good. And again, I do want to. Oh my goodness! Listen to me get excited. Yesterday we had our birthday party, and we had David Hall, who was a mind reader and a magician.
Okay.
You could ask anybody who was there. He was fabulous. He was fabulous. I can't even begin to tell you the tricks he did, but speak to Kathy Powers and Trish Pembroke and Dot Russo
Okay.
were three of the people that he called up to read their minds. You talk to them. It was, yes, it was outrageous. He was the best. So that's one thing we do every month. We have a birthday party, celebrating anyone who has a birthday in that particular month. And yesterday we had 3 people who were there with a May birthday, and the rest of us were just there to celebrate with them, you know. And we always have entertainment after the party.
That's nice.
Yeah, and we had this entertainer. He was fabulous. He's coming back.
Yeah.
He was good.
I hope he comes back in a day I can go and listen and watch him.
Yeah. You know, you could always pop in on a Tuesday, give up bridge or something.
My partner would never speak to me
I
again.
know. Bridge players are so dedicated.
Well, I don't know dedicated, but we like it.
Yes.
Most of us like it. And we do play up there on Tuesdays.
And it's good for you.
Oh, it's good for our minds.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah, very good for your minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, I hope people will come in and visit us this summer and, find out what we're doing and join in.
Okay, well, thank you, Roberta.
You're welcome.
And thank you out there in Medfield for watching. Any ideas, call Roberta. She's got an answering machine right there at the center, 3665. And they'll get the message and she'll come up with some way to work it out if it sounds like it's a really good idea. Her mind is wide open for new suggestions.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Medfield. And thank you, Roberta.
Thank you.
This program was made possible through the generous support of your Medfield friends and neighbors, folks just like you. And thanks for watching.